I'm not doing it. Nope. Look, just because it's the new year doesn't mean I have to do a video about New Year's resolutions, okay? Yeah, I know this is kind of a habit channel, but I don't have to do it. I said I wasn't going to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head to bed. All right, I'll do a New Year's resolutions video. Let's go. If you are making New Year's resolutions, or if you're trying to get back into the habit of something this January, new decade, new millennium, it's not a new millennium, but it's a new decade, and you feel this is like a really great opportunity, guess what? It is. It is an amazing opportunity, but it's not maybe for the reason that you think it is. There's just one quick thing I want to tell you about before I get into the rest of this video. The email provider that I use to send out my monthly newsletter for Break the Twitch is called ConvertKit. I've been using them since 2015 when my friend Nathan Barry, the founder of the company, signed me up for ConvertKit himself. And while they are not paying me to say this, I am an affiliate. They have something going on right now for new creators. People that want to start an email list, a newsletter, maybe just start a YouTube channel, but want to be able to reach people through email too. You can go to emailforcreators.com and join this completely free challenge. It's really, really awesome. They just started a free plan. You don't have to pay anything at all until you get much, much bigger. So you add a lot of people to your list. So there's really no downside. You get to learn how to build a landing page, build an email list. If I were starting Break the Twitch completely from scratch right now, I would absolutely do this thing. So like I said, I almost did not do a New Year's resolution video because I've done them in the past, and I'm personally not that big of a fan of New Year's resolutions myself. The reason for that is I don't think the date actually matters that much. There's a sense of investment that if we screw it up halfway through January, or we get to February and we drop some of the good habits that we started in January, that it's all just lost, and that there's no point in continuing, and there's this sense of having failed. From what I found, that is just a completely unproductive way to approach this stuff. Basically, going into it thinking that if I miss or if I don't continue it because of this date, there's no way to start over again at the first of the year and do it better, it's not gonna work, right? Because we're human and we need space. We need room to fail because that's what's gonna happen, at least on a day-to-day basis. Little things are gonna come up and you don't wanna let that drag you down. So the first thing is realize that every morning we get a new chance. We get a new opportunity to start fresh every single day. And it doesn't matter what the number on the calendar is, whether it's the 1st or the 2nd or the 3rd or the 31st. You get a fresh start every single morning when you wake up. So don't let the date be something that holds you back or prevents you from continuing on if you happen to slip up, which is perfectly fine. The next thing is just something to remember as you make stuff, as you share stuff, as you do work. There's just an idea that my friend Jeff Goins shared with me, and it is simply this: different is better than better. For example, there are other YouTubers that make videos about habits and things like that, and I'm never going to stand out by being better at making the type of videos that they make. Even if I'm 10 or 20% better, it just wouldn't stand out if I did it the same. What's better is me being myself, being different, and standing out for a different reason altogether. So as you approach the things you do, remember that different is probably better than just a little bit better. And there's one more secret about this that I'm saying to you, but also as a way to reinforce to myself. That thing that you're insecure about, that thing you're scared to put out there, to let out into the world, that thing is probably your unique advantage. The thing that actually gives you leverage over everything else. Just remember that and consider it. Oh yeah, this one's a doozy. You don't need to make any resolutions this year. If you didn't make any, That's perfectly fine. Seriously. Just because it's a new year doesn't mean you need to push yourself to be better in some way than the year before. You need to grow your business or make more money or get more fit or lose more weight or lift more pounds. Whatever it is, you don't have to do that. You don't have to let this change of the calendar year make you feel insignificant or make you feel like you're not enough. If you've been just making progress slowly towards things that matter to you, regardless of what it is, even if it hasn't gone perfectly, you can just keep doing that. You don't have to make any resolutions. You can just be enough. It's a pretty profound idea, but it's one that takes a while to sink in, seriously. And on the flip side, for those of you that have made a resolution this year or have picked a focus area of something you want to make slow, continual progress towards in 2020, I have one little piece of information that will be very, very helpful to you. This is the biggest thing that I've learned in 2019 as I have continued to build my fitness habit for the last 2 years. I managed to make it more to the gym this year than I did last year. And last year I went once every 3 days. So the habit is continuing to build. I'm learning more and more how to really embrace this. And I'll tell you what the secret is. The secret is identity. The biggest thing for me has been starting super small, just showing up, and that be the goal, and that becoming who I am. Let me give you an example. So you can think about painting all day long, right? You can think about a brush stroke, you can think about what it would be like to paint, but you're not painting. And if you've never painted before, you're not a painter. But what happens is as soon as you take that brush and you put some paint on it or you put some watercolor on it and you hit it and touch it, hit it. I don't think you hit brush, don't hit the page. You can if you want to though. As soon as you brush that page, you are painting. And painting makes you a painter because painters paint. Same thing as runners. If you run for 5 seconds, in that moment, you are a runner. And it might not feel like much, but you are becoming that thing that you do. And the more you do that small thing over and over and over again, the more and more and more you become part of that identity, and that identity becomes you. And so that eventually you don't even need to maybe run that particular day, but you will still hold that identity of being a runner. It sticks with you. And that is super powerful. It's what has helped me finally, for the first time in my life, keep up a fitness habit for 2 straight years. And now I'm going on to the 3rd and feeling really good about it. So it works, I'm telling you. This one definitely falls in line with the idea of not making resolutions. Do less. It is so easy to feel like the right thing to do to improve ourselves, to improve our situation, is to do a million things at once and just chase after all of these different things. I've done it so many times. I heard the expression that it's better to have one house that you can live in than 15 half-built houses that don't have roofs or plumbing or walls or things like that. It's better to just have one house that's completed than 15 that aren't. And so if you can just focus on maybe 1, 2, 3 things, other than that, look for distractions that you can remove. Just have a couple main focuses. Seriously, do less. You're good. I promise that it will go so much better if you just pick 1 or 2 things, use that as a linchpin, as the foundation for the kinds of things you want to focus on, and use that as your decision filter as you go through the year. It will be so, so helpful. This is a big one for me. Instead of starting new things, just allowing some space and really digging in to doing what I do better. That's part of what I was talking about in the video I made before this one about where Break the Twitch is headed. I heard this quote from Miles Davis, and there have been variations of this quote that I've heard, but the gist of it is this. Sometimes it takes a long time to learn how to play like yourself. And when I hear that quote, the interpretation that I take home from it is that sometimes it takes a long time to really develop your voice, to figure out who you are and what you love and and the style of work that you do, whether it's music or art or making videos or figuring out your process for work or the thing that motivates you the most. It takes time to figure that out, but the only way to do it is to play, to keep playing, keep being, keep creating, keep making stuff. And even if it doesn't feel quite right or feel exactly like you would want it to, just keep doing it because you will come into your own, you will find your voice and it will shine, but you just got to keep shipping stuff in order to really discover what that is. So in 2020, here is to playing like ourselves, our unique perspective, our unique voice, and sharing it with the world in whatever form that might be. I can promise you here, you'll be getting that through more of these YouTube videos. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I'll see you in the next one.